The reason you want to avoid a DCF 51A report of child abuse and neglect, along with a subsequent 51B investigation by DCF in Massachusetts, is because it can be extremely disruptive to your family life. As soon as you get that knock on your door, the phone call or a letter from DCF, I've had many clients say to me, I felt like I had the wind knocked out of me. I had a hard time standing up. I was just overwhelmed with just fear. I have heard this over and over and over again by families, especially parents. And they're also afraid what DCF will do to their children. Their children are priceless. They have no price on their head. With this comes undue stress and the fact that they're anxious and they're angry and they're upset. And they think, well, why would someone do this to me? I'm a good parent. My children are well taken care of. Just look at them. And they are very anxious at night, which leads to little or no sleep, lack of an appetite. And when you're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're not thinking. And they're not thinking. And they'll be the first to admit, I don't know what the next step is. I feel overwhelmed. I'm so disappointed. Why would someone do this to me? Now the question is, how do you protect yourself, your children, from this overreaching government? And what you do is you lawyer up. And you make sure that the right things are put in place so this type of nonsense doesn't happen. That detective couldn't have come to the home that night and spoken to the children or the parents? How about DCF? And the school couldn't protect these kids? They have somebody in the room? So this child, the children felt protective? Is this where we're going with our society? I hope not. What's also awful is that this can ruin your reputation. DCF is certainly going to call the pediatrician. What do you do the next time you go in to see the pediatrician? What, do you put a bag over your head? And I just had the other night a family that wasn't even at home. They were at their son's hockey practice or game. And DCF showed up at 7 o'clock at night with not one, not two, not three, but 4 police officers. Now, mind you, the week before, the children were interviewed at school by a police detective. Unfettered access. So obviously the children couldn't be coached because the parents didn't even know this was going to happen. And like that's not enough, they're going to come back the following week with 4 police officers with guns and badges. Now, forget about that, which was captured on the Ring camera on their doorbell. But think about, what are the neighbors saying now? How do you explain that to neighbors? That there's 5 people at the house, all strangers, 4 of them are police officers with police cars, with badges and guns. How do you explain that? But more importantly, DCF, tell me how you can justify that as being fair. And how about the little tinies when they go back to school and they've been interviewed by the detective, and then the kids in the school say, hey, John or Joey, where were you? Kids are going to tell the truth. I just was interviewed by DCF and a police detective. And like everybody, oh, really? And that doesn't spread? Because everybody likes juicy gossip, don't they? How sad. And then that night, what happens when these little kids go home to the parents? Because the first question everybody asks every night, so what happened today to you? How was your day? And the kids will tell the parents, well, Joey and Johnny had the police detective come and interview them along with DCF. And what are the parents going to say? You better stay away from that kid. That's trouble. We don't want them. We don't want DCF in our lives. And so what's that do to those 2 children? It puts a stink on them. But that's okay, right, DCF? That's okay, Mr. Detective. Oh, in the school, you're culprits too. Because who is DCF? They're the government. Who's the detective? The local, state, and federal police. They're the government. And who's the school? They're the government too. So they're all in bed together. So you think they're protecting your children? You better think again, parents. So what's the end game here? The end game is that we're under siege by an overreaching government, and we're all in trouble if this is the way it's going to be. Parents and children have rights. Constitution reads, we the people, not we the adults. But don't tell that to the police or to DCF or to the school because nobody was there to protect these kids. So now what happens to these kids the rest of the school year? If this has helped you, I'm sure it would help others you know and love. Please share with them and please help each other. Thank you.